Welcome, sovereign souls and friends of the light. As always, I speak wonder into all my messages and I activate something ancient and wonderful in you. And remember, the more people who join this community, the stronger the angelic activation becomes. Now, today I'm here to share a story I held quietly for many years. And it was a story that changed my life completely. I've never actually shared it before, only with close family members. But today I feel I'm here to share a story because it changed my life and I want it to change yours too. The thing is, it wasn't an immediate change. It wasn't something that I just woke up one day and experienced the change of, but it was a steady, deep, powerful change, one that left a lasting imprint on my spirit. A change that didn't come from books or teachings or human wisdom. A change that came from something divine, something real and unexpected. A miracle, if you like. I haven't really spoken about this for a long time. And I didn't talk about it for a long time after it happened. Because I didn't know how to explain it without diluting it. Or without feeling a bit awkward. Because one doesn't experience these sorts of things every day. But I always knew that one day I would have to speak the truth of it and share it with people so that they could also enjoy the experience that I had and benefit from it. Because the miracle I experienced wasn't meant to stay hidden. It was meant to guide the work I do today. This channel, the crown code, the mission that I speak into, and the light I now carry. Now, this remarkable story is the day that Archangel Michael entered my life. And what actually happened was it began with a transformation that lifted me out of darkness, and it gave me a sense of purpose, a real sense of purpose. It happened on just an ordinary day in my life where I visited a friend and I wanted to have some Reiki sessions. So I went to her healing room in a beautiful large house. It was a peaceful room. She had a beautiful bed. And as I laid on the bed, she had a warm blanket with all different colours. And it was so cosy, so peaceful. I lay there that afternoon just wrapped up in this warm blanket, all ready for my friend to do her Reiki session. In that calm, warm and peaceful environment, I remember laying down onto the healing bed, feeling so relaxed. Nothing was going on in my mind. I just wanted some time out for myself. It was soft, it was cozy, it was comforting. That was it. That was all I needed. At the time, I was working in a very kind of hard job, a job that required a lot of time from my perspective. And I just wanted a simple Reiki session, nothing more. But life never announces when miracles are about to arrive. So, yeah, that day, this miracle arrived that I'm about to tell you, and it completely changed my life. I happened to be, as I say, at this Reiki session this day, and as I was lying on the bed, my friend placed her hands near my body, and something extraordinary happened. I started to feel myself literally levitating up off the bed. I knew it was my spirit, it wasn't me physically, but I could feel myself going up, and I'd never felt myself rising like that ever. And as I went on, I realised it wasn't my imagination, it was actually happening. I could physically feel my spirit leaving the body. But it was a very strange feeling because I felt like I was lifting and floating as if these enormous angel wings were kind of carrying me upwards, as if they were kind of carrying me up in the air and away from the bed. Anyway, at that point, I panicked and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not sure I like this feeling at all, of being held and feeling weightlessness and being held in midair, surrounded by something I couldn't see, but I could feel completely. I kept my eyes closed and I carried on with the Reiki session, and I thought I just need to go with this experience. And for a brief moment, it felt quite peaceful. Once I'd got used to it, it felt quite peaceful, almost beautiful, in fact. But as I say, I hit the panic, and as I did that, my body, my spirit dropped back down quite sharply, actually, into my body again. And there I was, just lying back on the beautiful cozy bed that my friend had so kindly made up very nicely for me. My heart raced and my breath shook. My body felt slightly in shock, and I didn't understand what had just happened. Oh, I needed to take a bit of a breath, so I started to breathe deeply, but I knew something sacred had entered the room. I just knew it. It was just a knowing. And as I lay there, this feeling of something sacred kind of grew and grew, and it became more and more apparent. And this very small blue light started to glow in the room around me, but I still had my eyes closed. So it was kind of like I knew it was happening. Moments after this, he appeared, this beautiful angel hovering horizontally above my body. I was just blown away. I had never seen anything like it in my life. This angel had long, flowing blonde hair, blue eyes like ancient jewels. They were literally the lightest blue. I can't even explain it. They were kind of glowing light blue and full of knowing and love. A beautiful blue gown trailing behind him as he looked like a male light. And it was just this liquid light that was kind of glowing all around him. And in his hand, he had a sword made of tiny, shining jewels, glowing with fierce, radiant power. It's really hard to explain because the light was clear, but there were all these like pinks and purples and blues, all kind of firing off with each other. It was incredible. He wasn't symbolic. He wasn't imagined. He wasn't a dream. He was there, clear, present, real. His whole being kind of emitted love. And my body sort of shivered, it not from fear, but just feeling absolutely overwhelmed. It was love, pure, overwhelming, protective love. A love so powerful, I still feel it in my body today when I think about that experience. And I knew that something profound was happening. I didn't know anything about angels. I had not had any dealings with angels, any experience with angels. I hadn't read about them. I hadn't thought about them. And when this Reiki session ended, I was still really trembling. And I got up. My friend said to me, maybe you need to sit down for a minute. So she sat me down in the chair and I took a few deep breaths and I told her everything I saw. I told her about his hair, his eyes, the sword, the way he flew horizontally above me, looking down at me. I told her it all. And the weird thing was she didn't question a word. She just looked at me, went to her bookshelf, there was an extensive library of books that she had. And she just walked straight to this book. I'll never forget it. She picked this book up, brought it back to me and handed it to me. And she just said really calmly and quietly, "Is this him?" And there was a picture on the front. The front cover was the picture of him. And I said, yes, this is the angel I've seen. And on the cover, it was Archangel Michael. There have been quite a few books actually written about this beautiful angel and people that have had miracles involving him. Instantly I recognised that that's who I had seen. It was him. It really was him. The same eyes, the same light, beautiful blonde hair, the same light going around him, the same sword of jewels. I knew in an instant that he had graced me with his presence. And my friend was like really excited because once I'd recognised him, she was like, "I knew that's who you were talking about." You know, my soul had recognised him long before my mind knew his name. That's the strange thing. I kind of knew him, but I didn't. I thought, why has he come? Why has he come to me? What's going on? And I realised because he had got a message. It wasn't just random. He didn't just appear for no reason. I knew he hadn't come just to see me for curiosity. He came with a purpose. And that purpose was the moment that I understood what I was being called in this life to do, to help people who were struggling, as I was at the time. And I wasn't 100% aware that I was struggling, if that makes sense. But part of me knew that I was struggling with my life at the time, my work at the time. I was struggling with emotional parasites, people that were stuck to me, old cords draining their light, wounds that kept them stuck. I was struggling with fear and confusion and heaviness. I was struggling with darkness within myself, and I didn't know how to fix it. But I knew I was meant to help people that were struggling with some of those things that I've just mentioned that I was struggling with at the time too. I knew I was meant to help people cut through those energies, find meaning, find light, and return to themselves, return to the full energetic sovereign being that they're meant to be, without all of those other dark energies. And from that moment, the direction of my life changed. And as I said at the beginning, not overnight. This wasn't something that he raised a magic wand and said, oh, you are healed. It wasn't like that. I went from darkness to light. This is what I wanted to share with you, is that how it led me here. So before that day, as I say, I was walking in shadows. I realised that I had to change my life. In fact, my friend said to me after that Reiki session, you know, maybe he's come to really help you to change your life, because I was exhausted. I was working 70 hours a week in one of the services, and I wasn't really recognising what was going on in my body and my nervous system. There was a lot of pain that I was carrying, a lot of heaviness, a lot of emotional shutdown, a lot of old patterns, a lot of old wounds. And I knew that they were there, but I didn't really know how to kind of voice them. I didn't know how to talk about them. I didn't know how to name them even. I just knew they were there. And I knew that I had to move through this, and that that's what his presence was there to show me. It was to show me the light. And after seeing him and being lifted by those wings, and the way that he hovered above me that day, that afternoon, with that sword, that, my goodness, that sword of jewels, something began to shift in me. I started to listen to my inner self. I started to reconnect with myself. It was very slow. It was steady. It was purposeful. And it was deep. But it started. This beautiful angel guided me out of the darkness. I didn't even know how to navigate that alone. I had no idea. This angel came to help me navigate out of that darkness. He helped me see what I couldn't see before, the truth in people, the roots of their pain, energetic wounds that they carried, and how I needed to step into a space like this to share messages and to help them. And eventually, after I'd been through some years myself of understanding this, he guided me to my purpose, and that is being here with you on the Crown Code. Sometimes these things, they're not instant. It takes us a while to understand why we've had these experiences. But I want to dedicate myself to this channel, to this work, to this mission, to you, and carry his message forward. And this is why I built the Crown Code. I built it out of angel light. I built it out of the angel's ambitions for you. I built it because I had been asked to years ago by Archangel Michael in that healing room with my friend, who showed me the book, which she needn't have had, but nevertheless she had that book that day. He lifted me out of the shadows so I could help out other people too. I could help you out of the shadows. And this channel is part of that miracle. This channel wants to pay that forward. This channel is all about the light. This channel is all about being free to wear your own crowns. Archangel Michael's message to you today is really simple. He really wants me to share that you are protected, that you are guided, that the light will always return to you if you seek the truth. Just place your hand on your heart space and your other hand on your solar plexus, your tummy, and just say, I am protected, I am connected, I am ready. And just take a few moments to really breathe into that. I am protected, I am connected, I am ready. I am protected, I'm connected, I am ready to receive the light. Thank you. If this message found you, it was meant for you, please like and subscribe to this channel of the light and stay connected to the Crown Code. Join and amplify this light for everyone.